everybody, to another episode of the Bernie Dyke podcast. I am flying solo Dolo today on this special occasion. It's Mother's Day, and, it's season 8, episode 5 of Game of Thrones tonight, so I feel like that's going to be pretty special for what I've been reading, which I got a little insight information for you guys on that. But first, I want to say Happy Mother's Day to my mother Ingrid, my stepmother Kara, my little sister India, my mother-in-law Chris, and all you other mothers out here and out everywhere. Thank you for putting up with all us crazy shits, because, you know, most of us are crazy, so we appreciate you. You're important. You're the backbone of this country. This world. What the hell am I talking about? Alright, so now that we got that out of the way, we got some special Mother's Day stickers down here. I wanted to let you guys know who I think is going to win Game of Thrones. And the reason I think this is because I'm a genius and I know everything. So if you know me, you know that I know everything, and so you should be listening right now. If you're not caught up, well, I would stop listening to what I'm about to tell you because, I know things. I drink and I know things. So my prediction for the winner of the Game of Thrones is going to be Tyrion. He's got Lannister blood. You're going to find out he's got Targaryen blood, because I'm pretty sure that's the Mad King's son, which would make him Daenerys' brother and a bastard. So a bastard like Jon Snow. And I'm not sure if Daenerys is like a bastard or not. I'm not sure. I'd have to check that. But here's where it gets crazy is you've seen the very similar storyline for all three of those characters. And you've seen the rise and you've seen the fall, but you've seen the fall of Tyrion. We haven't seen him risen yet, and I think that you're going to see at the end that he is the one. He's going to win the Game of Thrones, and I'm probably wrong, but I'm normally right. Arya will probably kill Cersei, wearing Jaime's face, or Jaime will have to do it himself. And I think the big battle tonight is going to be the Mountain and the Hound. And I think that the Hound he's going to probably almost lose to the Mountain, and then Grey Worm, he's going to come up and he's going to finish him off. He's going to kill the Mountain. So that's my guess on that. Arya's a rock star, we all know that, but I don't think she's going to actually win it. My dad thinks that it's going to be Sansa. He thinks she's cold-blooded and that she's going to be the winner. With that big movie coming out, The Dark Phoenix, that's a good possibility. So I wouldn't doubt if he was correct. You know, that's where I get all my right, knowing everything. So, but I think since the writers have kind of switched from going from the book to these dudes are just kind of winging the shit, you can tell, man. I mean, you didn't see the Night King battle. Like, I wanted to see a little bit of a battle or something else like that. I kind of felt robbed there. I feel like it's a little predictable, but I could be wrong. I just feel like it feels rushed. And since they've written it, you know, we always had so much build-up off storylines, and the fact that you're rushing it into 6 episodes, even though you're making them long, I don't know. That kind of bugs me a little bit. But it's a great show. We're going to finish it off. Next week's the last one. So, yeah, there's my little prediction on that. Daenerys threw a little bit, she tried to throw some sex at Jon last week to shut him up. And as soon as he didn't bite, man, she just snapped, boy. She flipped the script. So I see that going bad for them. You know, that was a messed up situation. We saw the Avengers movie. I'm gonna wait to do a breakdown on that. I don't think it's fair. I feel like a lot of people want to watch that movie still, so I won't do that one quite yet. But I do have a couple theories on the ending and where they might be able to do a couple different things, which I'm not sure they're gonna do, but it's speculation. So me getting to talk about stuff without Bob interrupting me and telling me that I'm a dweeb and a nerd, which we already knew. But and Bob's doing good, everybody. He made it to San Diego. He is staying with his daughter Angie right now. I think he's planning on getting his own place in the next few weeks, just getting everything squared away. So he made it out there. Hopefully, everything's going to go good. I think he was going to have a meeting with his other daughter in the next few days, so hopefully that goes good. He hit a bit of a luck streak when he got out there. I think he won off $20. I think he won like $400 or something. He went out gambling for a night, which, of course, Bob went out gambling. But, that's good for him. He's about to lose a little bit of it right now. I think we're in the middle of a $50 bet on the basketball game that's going on right now with Toronto and, Philly? So I'm going to check the scores on that real quick. It's still a close game, end of the third. I got Toronto for 50. So, but the other series that's about to pop up is going to be the Curry brothers are going to have to face each other. And my question is who do mom and dad root for? I mean, they're going to root for both of them, but in your head, are you cheering on, Steph to continue his greatness? Or do you want Seth to get his ring or his opportunity? And why the hell couldn't you come up with something other than Steph and Seth? Man, that's almost annoying. It's too close, Be weird like my mom and name them India and Keegan. Just get some weird stuff in there. But I guess that's why I'm not an NBA three-point, superstar. But shout out to them. That's going to be an interesting series. I think that the real series to watch, if my predictions are correct, is going to be Toronto and the Bucks. I think that one's going to be the one to watch. I feel that should be an interesting matchup. Giannis versus, I don't know why I just drew a blank on old boy from Toronto. What the hell is his name right now? With that stupid laugh. But that's gonna be a crazy matchup. I think that's where it's gonna go. But who knows? Philly could pull it out of their butt tonight. I don't think they're gonna, but we'll see. What else do I got going on? Let's see. I got some upcoming people for the podcast. I got a buddy named Dakota. I think we talked about him in another podcast, but he's gonna be coming in. He's starting a company, a hot sauce company. He's a good friend of mine, so maybe we'll do some hot wing challenges up here while we're hanging out. I got a buddy named Chad that's going to be coming up. He's a drummer for a band that just came back from tour, so that should be a nice little interesting podcast. Let me grab something real quick. Actually, first of all, if any of you guys have Amazon Prime and haven't downloaded Audible yet, and obviously I'm not getting paid from Amazon or Audible because I'll probably, hopefully one day. But if you haven't downloaded Audible yet, it's just a way to get audiobooks. And I downloaded it the other day. If you haven't, I don't know if it's Amazon Prime does it or if, it's anybody that downloads it, but your first book's free. And if you're having struggles with motivation or feeling like you just can't get over the hump or whatever it is, something to push you a little bit further, man, get the David Goggins, I think it's called Can't Hurt Me. And I'm going to tell you right now, you will not be disappointed. The book is incredible. Man, I hiked Camelback yesterday and was finishing up the book, and I could have hiked it twice. Like, the book is so good. I listened to him the first time on the Joe Rogan podcast, and I've listened to that specific podcast probably 3 times. He's a very motivating guy. He's an ex-Navy SEAL. He's run, 100-mile marathons. He's a big ultra marathon runner. So just, the guy came from nothing. He's a gritty dude. It's a nice story to hear, and it's very motivating and uplifting, and it kind of puts into perspective how far you can push yourself. So if you're needing something, long car rides, my podcast isn't cutting it because it's not long enough for you. Download Audible. There's a couple other, there's a bunch of stuff on there. And I think if you're an Amazon Prime member, there's a whole bunch of free stuff on there that you can listen to that's actually really good books. So go check those out. That was a big one. I kind of made a mistake this week, and I finally broke my Apple Watch. I've had that thing for like 3 years, and I dropped it on my tile floor here, and I broke it. And it's so funny because mine's a Series 1. I could have bought a Series 3 Apple Watch from Amazon or Best Buy for like $220. So two series ahead for $220, and it cost $160 for me to fix the glass on the watch that I had. Now I didn't want to just throw the watch away that I had, so I fixed the glass, and it works brand new. It looks brand new, but it's just crazy how Apple has you by the balls, because it's like the quality of their stuff is good, so you're not gonna just throw it away. They know that they got you. They have those price points right where they're at, and you never see anything dip below. Nobody's giving them away at a special price. Like, you're gonna pay the same price pretty much everywhere, and they're not. I mean, I will say the earpods or AirPods, whatever they're called. If you drive more than 10 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day, and you don't have your Bluetooth in your vehicle, or even if you do have Bluetooth in your vehicle, get those things. If you don't need wireless charging, I think they're $150, and it is the best $150 investment for hands-free use of Siri if you have an iPhone. If you don't have an iPhone, well, don't text me. I don't want none of those green booger messages on my phone. But for real though, they probably already saved me from getting a couple tickets out here, because they're cracking down on people that are driving around with their phones in their hands. So I like those little AirPods. Those are nice. But man, Apple, they got you, man. They definitely got you. So that's kind of I don't have a lot today. Like, I'm kind of keeping it simple. I was hoping that we were gonna get a guest in here for this week, but it didn't pan out like that. So I just kept it to me having a drink and wishing everybody happy Mother's Day. So actually, one of the things I wanted to bring up is I got a buddy coming in, another one of the guests that I want to bring on, and he works for a cell phone carrier. And so, like, one of the biggest questions I had a couple questions for him, because I'm the same thing with, we're talking about Apple products, we're talking about all this different stuff, and he knows he's one of the top salespeople out here in that side of the business, and like, you can't ever tell if they're giving you a good deal, and most of the rates are pretty fixed, but you can't tell. Like, we just kind of got hustled. I added one of my sisters to our plan, and they kind of hustled her into buying a new phone and lied to her and told her they couldn't unlock that phone. And then once you did buy the other phone, even though you return it, Apple makes you pay $75 to send that phone back. So that phone was used for less than 24 hours, and they're going to just refurb the phone and send it to somebody. So that's kind of shitty. But my whole thing was I'm going to bring him on here, and any questions you guys have for the cell phone people, you want the truth, he'll tell me. Anything that he knows, he's got the insight on, he'll be more than happy to divulge some of that information. So don't be shy. Send me a direct message or a regular message. It doesn't matter. But yeah, I got a guy coming on. I think he works for T-Mobile. So, it ain't Verizon, but it's T-Mobile. So come check it out. We're going to have him on probably in the next week or so. I work out with a guy every day. He's a tough dude. So, that should be a good one that we're going to be able to go over. But, yeah. And, another book, hopefully at some point I can get him in here. He comes into town all the time. He's a comedian. If you visited me over at the last apartment we lived at, there's a good chance you got to meet Billy. Billy O'Connor, great comedian, great author, ex-firefighter in New York, so he's a New York firefighter. Man, the guy, ex-Bronx bookie. I mean, he's done it all, but he's another one of those guys that's very inspiring, because I think Billy was in his 60s when he decided he was going to go back to college and he was going to become a writer. And I'm sure a lot of people scoffed at that idea and didn't think that he could pull it off. But let me tell you right now, hold on one second. Where's the other one? right here. Not only did he write a book, he wrote 2 books. So I'm just gonna set those right there. Confessions of a Bronx Bookie. This was the first one, and this one right here, The Mick, second book. But trust me when I say this book right here. Even if you're somebody that struggles reading, because in the beginning I really, with my ADHD, it wasn't easy for me to sit down and actually read a full book. But man, this guy just completely just grabs you. It's about him being an ex-Bronx bookie and all the different stuff that he had to go through, going into the service. And man, do yourself a favor. It's online. I think it's on Amazon. You can check it out on www.bronxbilly.com. Billy O'Connor, great guy. Read these books, man. Get yourself reading. I got a bunch of other stuff that I like to glance at and read, but every now and then, I like to dive into a story that's got some real meat on the bones. It's you can tell that there was some truth to it, whether if it's 100% true or 80% true. You can feel it when you read those books. And again, a bunch of the books on Audible, man, that David Goggins book, that if you can't get motivated after listening to that, and I'll admit the beginning's a little depressing. I mean, the guy went through some rough stuff, so it wasn't easy to listen to driving. I was kind of in like a little space warp after listening to the first few chapters, because he definitely went through a struggle that I went through the ringer, man. We've all gone through it, but boy, when you hear some other people's stories that are just, it's hard to, tough. So David Goggins, Can't Hurt Me. Check out Confessions of a Bronx Bookie by Billy O'Connor. I wish somebody was paying me for this stuff, but they're not. But take the time to read it. Take the time to appreciate it. And thank you, man. Anybody that's just sat through one of my whole podcasts, I appreciate it, because it's not easy to come in here and talk to everybody for 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 minutes and it to be something that anybody wants to listen to. Like, I know a lot of people love me, but the fact that they can sit through an hour of it, that's pretty incredible. So I wanna say thank you to everybody that listened to the last podcast. I know it was a little bit different than what I normally do, but it was kind of nice to have some real content on the page, and I didn't like that it had to be at somebody else's expense, and I'm praying for Shayla. I hope that everything works out great for her, because I know that she's a good person, and she did hear the podcast. She was not happy about it. I've offered multiple times to take it down, but I think that she, I really hope that she's gonna push to get better, man. I didn't even want to put that podcast up. I asked Bob multiple times if he was 100% sure he wanted to put that part of the podcast up, and he's been very adamant that, the way they handle things in their family is head on. They don't beat around the bush, and they don't sugarcoat it. And he kind of felt that this time things have been kind of getting brushed around the main topic. And man, that's Bob. If you don't know Bob, that's the way Bob is. He wears everything on his sleeve. He will tell you everything that happened to him the night before, whether it was good, bad, or ugly. It's ugly a lot of times, but let me tell you right now, that guy is a very good guy. He loves his family, and I know that had to be extremely hard to have put up on the internet, and it's still up. And again, I offered to take it down. I will take it down if I have to take it down, because I feel a little, I didn't want to have to put that up there, but Bob, being that it was his last episode, he made it, a point that he wanted to put that up there. Now we have some fun, goofy stuff that is still left over from that episode that I haven't posted yet. I need to finish trimming it. But we shot some funny stuff. So throughout time, I might just make some little teasers and clips. If there's anything that, I'm missing, or, people do want to hear, let me know. If there's a review of something. Things that we're doing out here, we just hiked Camelback Mountain yesterday. If you're going on vacations, if you've never been out here, feel free to reach out to us and let us know what you're thinking. But I just again wanted to say thank you guys for listening, and girls, to the Bernie Dyke podcast, man. We've been out here just trying to drum up good content for you, and it's not always easy, but sometimes the news makes it a little better for us. So thank you again for watching. Hoorah to the Game of Thrones episode tonight. 6:06. I can go flip HBO on right now and watch that, and I'm going to grill up some steaks. So, everybody out there, don't forget to spay and neuter your pets, and keep an eye and vaccinate your crotch goblins. Bernie Dyke podcast out.